Open water brings hidden dangers.
A lot of people have never even heard of rip currents in Lake Michigan.
In West Michigan, an alarm on water safety.
There have been over 1,300 drownings since we started keeping track in 2010. We're averaging about 80 a year.
As officials warn to stay vigilant.
When you go to the beach, you're going to have to be the lifeguard.
Families work to recover from tragic losses.
We got in the water for about 20 minutes, and the wind was just blowing so hard, and I just lost sight of them, and I went the wrong way.
And wonder if more can be done to keep our beaches safe.
Hi there, I'm Amber Kriska.
And I'm Brian Sterling. This is Beneath the Surface.
So much. I wish I just would have held him tighter that day.
A mother left grieving the life of her son, who drowned in a Kent County park at the end of July. He was not wearing a life jacket.
Silas Palmer was just 4 years old when he drowned at Long Lake Park, but his memory still lives on.
News 8's Adriana Doria spoke with the child's mother, who says that she wants his death not to be just a tragedy, but a lesson that others can learn from.
He was amazing. He was so smart and so energetic.
Silas Allen Scott Palmer was always smiling. His mom, Michaela, and his Aunt Shelby say he loved dinosaurs, playing outside, and his family.
No matter what mood you were in, he could always just light up your mood and light up a room.
One of his favorite things was being in the water.
He thought he was Aquaman for sure. He was a little water baby. He's loved the water since he was a newborn.
What was once one of Silas's favorite places ended up being the last place he would ever know.
It's been really hard, waking up every day and him not coming to me and saying, "Good morning, Mom."
On July 25th, Michaela says she dropped Silas off to spend the evening with his family at Long Lake Park while she went to work. It's something their family did multiple times a week. Shortly after 8 p.m. that night, while Silas was playing in the water with everyone, he went underwater and didn't come up.
You can just hear panic. I don't know. You don't really know what to do. There was an adult right next to him. My sister's best friend pulled him out of the water immediately.
Michaela arrived within minutes, and she says she was not able to see him as emergency crews were doing CPR for about 45 minutes trying to save him.
I remember feeling guilty because when I had dropped him off to my sister, I had asked him, I was like, "Come here, Si, come give me a hug and a kiss goodbye. I gotta go to work." And he was playing with Beta, so I just let him play.
And while knowing that he was doing what he loved when he died can't bring him back, Michaela says it brings some peace, knowing that he left this earth smiling.
But he was surrounded by people that loved him, and he knew that. Gives me the closure knowing that, I guess, he was just, too good for this earth. He served his purpose.
Silas is just one example of the many tragedies that can happen while in the water, and it can happen in a matter of seconds. Michaela says she wants her son to be remembered as more than a statistic, making her message to the community even more important, hoping that no parent has to live through the unthinkable.
I just want people to know that, getting those swim lessons for young kids are really, really important. Life jackets, if they're available, are really, really important. And I want to get a setup there with life jackets that I provide and I remove at the winter time, you know what I mean? So then people have those at their access if they need them.
A life taken too soon, and a reminder that they say lives with them every day.
Because you don't think it's going to happen to you till it's going to happen to you, and then it's too late. I'm sure you tell someone you love them every time you leave or get off the phone with them. You never know when this is going to be that last time.
In Sparta, Adriana Doria, News 8.
The parents of a 6-year-old boy who drowned at Millennium Park this past June are wondering if more shouldn't have been done to keep swimmers safe.
But more than anything, they want to talk about their son, their loss, and how quickly a day at the beach can turn tragic. Here's Target 8 investigator Ken Kolker.
Chantel's my baby. T-U-E-W-X.
Santana loved playing with cars and trucks, already knew his ABCs and sign language, and always wanted to be in control, his mom says, of everything.
He has to start the microwave. He has to start the washer and dryer.
My son was great. It was fun to be around. That's my little strong man. I love him.
Ramachan Howland says he took his son Santana and 2 other children to Millennium Park on Saturday as real field temperatures hit 100. The park, he says, was packed.
We got in the water for about 20 minutes, and the wind was just blowing so hard, and I just lost sight of him, and I went the wrong way.
He says his son was in the water, inside the buoys.
It takes just a second, right?
Just a second.
At first, he searched on his own, trying not to panic.
I went the way where I thought he went, and once I came back, I just broke down, and I went up to the stand and told him I couldn't find him, and then everybody came and started helping, and then about 5 minutes later after that, that's when they called the police.
That led first responders and park goers to form a human chain. The Kent County Sheriff's Department says 2 deputies assigned to the park also helped with the search. Santana was found in the water, but rescuers could not revive him.
When I got the call that they couldn't find him, I got there as quick as I could, and I seen all the ambulance and the cars, and I just knew, like, I couldn't even walk up there to even see. When I got there, they were pulling him out the water already, and I'm just still in shock.
They question whether the park should do more to make it safe for swimmers. Walker police say the drowning was the 4th at the park since it opened 21 years ago. In July 2020, a 6-year-old girl drowned there.
I think it should be lifeguards.
But mostly, he says, he blames himself.
I could have done better too, I think.
Let's go. Swim.
Major songs.
I just want to say, love on your kids as many chances you get, you know, and I feel good as a mom that I was able to do that each and every day of his life.
The Red Cross warns to never underestimate the power of water, that most drownings happen silently, with no cry for help and often playing out in less than a minute. Drowning is a leading cause of death for children ages 1 to 4 in the U.S. Contrary to what most people think, the National Drowning Prevention Alliance says 88% of child drownings happen with an adult present.
Unless rescued, a person drowning can last only 20 to 60 seconds before they submerge. So we encourage folks to learn how to swim and take some water safety classes and make smart choices in and around the water.
Authorities recommend life jackets for young children or inexperienced swimmers. They say that even in shallow water, kids should be closely supervised.
Meteorologist Blake Harms is back in the studio with a look at how many beach hazard days we've had this year and how it compares to previous summers.
Well, in West Michigan, there are many summer days that look just like this with a glassy lake surface. But there are other days where that isn't the case, and that's when you'll hear us talk about something called beach hazard statements. Now, those are products that are issued by the National Weather Service. It's exactly what it sounds like, a statement warning of beach hazards. Typically here in West Michigan, that pertains to high waves or high rip current action. Typically, those two tend to coincide with one another. They can be issued or updated throughout the day as well. So if meteorologists at the Weather Service are watching cameras and they can see the wave actions picking up, sometimes they'll issue them during the day. We've had 25 days this summer so far with a beach hazard statement in place, which may seem high, but it's actually slightly below our average dating back to 2020. That average has been 28 days. Now, even though we're below average, we're still among the highest rates of dangerous swimming conditions in the country. North Carolina's Outer Banks comes in the top spot so far this year with 56 days. Southern California, the Bay Area, also in California, coming in at over 30 days apiece. South Carolina's coast near Myrtle Beach has 27 days, and West Michigan's Lakeshore comes in 5th here in the country with 25 days. And one thing you'll notice, West Michigan is the highest in the Great Lakes. The only 4 above us are in our oceans on either side of the country. So West Michigan can be a great place to enjoy, but when you see those beach hazard statements, it's a good idea to stay out of the water and avoid those rip currents.
Welcome back to beneath the surface. Not every emergency ends in a tragedy.
No, we're talking with the family of a man who was rescued by the U.S. Coast Guard at the Coast Guard Festival in Grand Haven.
Seconds matter. Seconds matter in a situation like that, without a doubt.
A happy ending this week for the family of Frederick Unger.
Had he waited another 15, 20 seconds, would my dad still be here? I honestly don't know if he would be.
After a scary fall Tuesday when the 97-year-old man lost his balance and ended up in the Grand Haven Channel.
Seaman Joe Turk jumped off this pier that we're standing on here today to save a man's life. He was starting to drift and get pinned between the pier face and the cutter.
Today, two of Unger's sons thanking the U.S. Coast Guard and Seaman Joseph Turk.
Had it not been for Seaman Turk, he would not be here. Is that simple?
And the others who quickly jumped into action, throwing lifelines and jackets.
You know, he was apologetic about the whole thing. It sucks that happens, but we're ready for it.
Turk told News 8 that he had just completed some surface swimming training earlier in the month, and when he heard the splash, his instincts and training kicked in.
When you see someone in the water, and you just go in.
Michael Unger says his dad is doing well and recovering tonight at an area hospital.
When I got to the hospital and saw him in the room, then I realized that, yeah, he's still hanging in there. He's still fighting. He's not giving up yet.
Some West Michigan communities are utilizing technology to help facilitate water rescues, like South Haven.
News 8's Josh Sanchez has more on how a life-saving drone was dispatched to save 2 people from their capsized boat.
Photos from South Haven Area Emergency Services show 2 people sitting on the hull of an overturned Zodiac boat as another boat and an Emily life-saving robot float nearby. Officials say the incident happened off of South Beach on Thursday. Fortunately, those on board had life jackets. First responders praised the group of surfers and boaters who quickly came to help.
Have them in their thoughts and prayers, and hopefully, that.
Mandy Servatus remembers hearing emergency crews race to Lake Michigan last night.
We sat there and we heard all the sirens last night. We didn't know what was going on until we woke up this morning and saw all the posts on Facebook.
Posts from emergency service officials say South Haven Police and Van Buren County Sheriff's Office Marine Unit also were sent out to help.
Emily's home is right here on South Beach. Officials say that it was the Beach Patrol that launched the drone more than 100 feet from the shoreline to help during last night's rescue.
New Buffalo, St. Joe, Ludington, now South Haven has one.
Mandy and Ryan Servatus say the remote control drone was donated last fall. It came from a conversation of wanting to improve beach safety.
And it was good to see that, something that was on the site ready to go could help out. So it showed the value right then and there. So
if it could save one life, that's exactly what we wanted.
Yep, exactly.
Photos from last night showed the 2 rescue boaters safely out of the water as their boat was towed. Ryan Servatus says it shows the heart of this lakeside town.
Everyone always helps each other out, and we have a very friendly, neighborly community, and as you can see last night, it showed that. People step up when they're needed to.
He hopes other lakeshore communities see this example of the Emily drone at work. In South Haven, Josh Sanchez, News 8.
And deputies in Kent County are finding more uses for their drones. The technology can be used to drop life jackets or medical supplies. They have been training on how the drones can be used for search and rescue operations, especially over waterways. Deputies demonstrated the technology in a field outside the sheriff's office in Grand Rapids. The technology also allows deputies to drop bags of medical supplies like tourniquets, scissors, and bandages. The Kent County Sheriff's Office says it has had at least 1 life jacket drop that was successful, and the capability could save more lives.
We carry the life jackets in every single cruiser. We have 16 certified pilots to fly these drones. We have multiple drones on per shift, so they're able to get these out to someone in need versus maybe getting an airboat or a regular boat into the water, which may take a little bit of time.
If needed, deputies can hook up the drone to a monitor so command staff can see a more detailed view.
When we take a closer look at drowning statistics across the Great Lakes, one thing is clear. Lake Michigan continues to come in on top. 32 drownings to date so far in 2025. Lake Huron sitting in the single digits, as well as Lake Superior. The next closest is actually Lake Erie, sitting at 13. So why is that the case? We'll take a look at the number of drownings over the last 15 years, which is just around 1,400. For reference, right around half of those occurred in Lake Michigan, and most of that half actually occurred on the Michigan side of the lake rather than off the coast of Wisconsin or Illinois or even Indiana. So again, why is that the case? It actually has to do with our flow. Typically, we see our winds at pretty much every level move west to east, and on those days, we tend to be the choppiest at the lakeshore here in West Michigan. That flow can cause strong currents and, of course, high waves to crash onto shore, but there's another added layer of this. We have gorgeous beaches here in West Michigan, and it drives tourism. Holland State Park alone welcomed 2 million visitors to the park in 2024, a high density of people, especially on those summer days. South Haven, for example, also has a pier that they have to deal with. With a northwest wind like today, you can see those wave heights racking up to about 3 to 6 feet. These days tend to be some of the most dangerous at the lakeshore. Lots of our local beaches actually have those piers, like Holland, as well as Grand Haven and even South Haven, like I just showed you. With that north or northwest flow, it can really ramp up wave heights on the north end of those shores and even cause those dangerous currents. About a third of drownings are a result of rip currents. So if you find yourself in one, there's a 3-step process to help you get out of it. The first of which, don't panic. And if you can, flip onto your back and then float, keeping your head above water to conserve that energy. Finally, once you're far away from the shore, you should feel a bit of a break, and swimming perpendicular to shore can help set you free in a very safe way.
As we mentioned, drowning continues to be a leading cause of death when it comes to children. Professional swim lessons have been shown to ease that statistic.
Chief Meteorologist Alan Baca dove into the ways local nonprofits are working to provide lessons for free to kids in need.
With summer heating up, West Michigan has no shortage of ways to cool down.
We're in Michigan, right? So there is water everywhere.
But with all the benefits of water, there comes a quiet hazard: drowning.
It's not what you see on the movies. It's not big arms and yelling for help. That's not what drowning is.
Erin Deal is the aquatics director at the David D. Hunting YMCA in Grand Rapids. Lifeguards under her watch are trained to look for subtle signs.
Their mouth is right beneath the surface of the water, and so they're trying as hard as they can. You'll see they're like pressing down on the water to try to get themselves up so that they can get a breath, but they really, it's very difficult for them.
The danger of drowning is especially high for kids. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, drowning is the second leading cause of death for children ages 1 to 14. Additionally, low-income and minority communities are especially at risk, with nearly twice as many Black and Hispanic kids unable to swim compared to their white counterparts. Professional swim lessons can change that trend.
My parents didn't want to learn how to swim, so they made sure all of us learned how to swim. And so if we can get those, and then it just builds and it continues to grow and break those habits of not being afraid of the water, it really will help with those statistics going down.
Swim lessons can be expensive. That's why some nonprofits or businesses will offer scholarships or swim challenges to help raise money for those who can't afford it. I participated in one such swim challenge with the Red Cross this June, supporting its capital campaign with the goal of providing swim lessons and water safety education to those in need. Deal says people can make donations straight to the Y and ask for the money to go directly towards swim lessons for someone who needs it.
Every little bit counts, so we're just so grateful that we're able to provide free swim lessons to some students who might not be able to take those lessons in the future.
The Y also uses grant money and special initiatives to partner with schools to offer a safety around water course.
And we do an 8-week program, and they learn those basic water safety skills, and it's an awesome opportunity to see we get communities to be able to come in.
The goal isn't just to have one safe summer. The goal is to elevate water safety and education for everyone in West Michigan for years to come. Ellen Baca, News 8.
Thank you for joining us for Beneath the Surface, a swim safety special.
As you and your family go out to enjoy the last bit of summer, remember to stay vigilant in the water so everyone can get home safe.